Hey, Drake commented on you recently.
Oh, and he said I'm not in the big three?
Okay, so apparently, so Adam 22,
Yeah.
while him and Joe are going, they have their little tiff, they go back and forth. He presented the idea. He said, listen, this guy Joe thinks he's part of the big three when it comes to media, which, by the way, my thoughts on that is I think we have a personality big three and a platform big three. The platform big three, I think is set in stone. I think it's me, you, and Adam, No Jumper, Vlad TV, and Academics. The personality-wise, I think there you could be like, yo, hey.
Yeah, I'm not on camera, so
Yeah,
I have a certain disadvantage. Yeah.
Joe gives the hot take. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? That's where we're at with him. Anyway, Adam presents it to Drake.
Yeah.
And supposedly Drake says, nah, we gotta take Vlad out
Put Joe in.
and put Joe in.
It's not supposedly.
He did say, okay,
I
right.
think I actually saw it, like the DMs or whatever.
And I was wondering, I was like, I wonder what does Vlad think about this?
I think it's me being the oldest person out of everyone who's getting mentioned.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm still getting mentioned, by the biggest rapper in the world. He could have said, who? Who's this Vlad guy? He knows who I am, so he can't really say
but
that.
Of course.
But I'm saying,
Andrew's tapped in. Like, yeah, you know.
But the fact that the biggest rapper in the world is saying, not Vlad, but this other guy, is like, yo, but I'm in a conversation, which is great. Because none of these was based on any sort of facts.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you start breaking down the streams and the views and whatever else, which Adam didn't do. And me and Adam are friends.
Yeah.
Adam really goes hard. And for me, no Diddy, in terms of admiring what I do, and likewise, I admire what he does. So I understand why Adam did it, and I think it's dope, But the fact that I'm being mentioned, to me, I think it was like, yo, that's great. Okay, you want to put Joe, if Joe is 3 and I'm 4, great. We're all successful in this.
There's a line drawn, and I think when it comes to people like me, Adam, we've watched your platform and modeled our own. You know what I mean? So we're always going to look at different. Anyway, okay. So that he says you weren't in the. It's interesting you say that. I look at how you even respond to this question, and I don't know what your opinion on him, Elliot Wilson. I feel like Elliot Wilson feels bothered anytime he's left out of the conversation by whoever. While you're like, yo, to think about my age, how long I've been doing this shit, for me to be in a conversation, all right, okay, that's fine. Like, yo, all right. You know what I mean? While I think, I watch Elliot and I could tell he's like, nah, I want to be number one, and I'm watching him he's trying to do his thing, but you guys have two different demeanors about what people feel your position in media is.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Elliot. We talked about doing an interview together.
That would be good.
Elliot was around longer than all of us in the media game, and he pulled off an amazing set of work at Double XL. I used to go to Double XL to try to promote my mixtapes and everything else like that. Double XL I read religiously. At the end of the day, though, it's hard to put yourself in a ranking when you don't put out the amount of content that your competitors are putting out. I mean, this was always the complaint about Carisha Please.
Of course.
Is that her interviews are good, but there's so few of them.
6 episodes, get an award.
Then we are winning the top award at these award shows. I think Elliot hasn't put out a lot of content. Now, the content he has put out, he's had 2 Drake interviews. I think he had a Jay-Z interview. And
he's had some iconic ones.
The what?
Yeah, he's had some iconic ones.
No, he's had some iconic, thing. But I think at the time, I think he was working for Tidal, and now now he's got this daily show that he does.
Yeah.
On Hip Hop DX. So I think he's trying to put himself out there a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's hard when you put out such, spread out projects, whereas I'm doing 3, 4, 5 interviews a week sometimes, and I'm constantly hitting people, and stuff is constantly going viral, and this, that, and the clips are showing up here and whatever else, that you're not going to be in a conversation if you don't show up to all the games.
Yeah,
Not at all a shot at Elliot, because I think what Elliot has done is dope. I'm a fan of Elliot Wilson, and he's spoken nicely about me as well.
But I think we all are. Elliot's dope. I think Elliot doesn't really. We're in this. Like the way people perceive media is what have you done for me lately, right? There was a time the two dope boys and the non-rights they were pop. Right. Listen, right now it's like what have you done in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
And what's happened is that I feel like Elliot has came from that ecosystem of, okay, you worked in XXL and this and third, and even with the Rap Radar, like people didn't see you like how they see like a Vlad TV. Or like even a No Jumper, even me, or even a Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
So it feels like even though you're so legendary, you're kind of starting off. Like not starting off, but like it feels like you're behind, but you're not behind. Yeah. It's just that they're looking at these guys. They're saying, "Yo, Vlad has been building this one singular thing called Vlad TV," and that's the thing about when you get employed somewhere, right? Like for example. There's episodes of Everyday Struggle that were removed for whatever legal reason, and you can't find them.
Yeah.
Right? So if there's someone now who's like, wait, Ak was on Everyday Struggle, they can't find those things. As opposed to my content, they could go back to 2012. Every time like I have to pull up one of my old videos, I almost cringe because my voice sounds different. But that's 12 years ago.
Right, and when you're under a bigger corporation, which is what Elliot's always been under, he's under XXL, then he was under Tidal, now he's under this Hip Hop DX, and that's his comfort level. I think he likes having a regular paycheck and doesn't like the uncertainty of running your own business and having payroll and everything else like that. You are going to be, there's not the flexibility of constantly dropping content whenever you want to drop it, and you're competing against people like me, you, Joe, Adam, that own their own platforms that could drop shit whenever they feel like it. They don't have to okay it with somebody. They don't have to hear, oh no, that's too much, or oh no, this is too whatever, take it down. Yeah, it's a different kind of thing. It's like the older artists that drop one album out every 3 years. Sometimes they fall behind the NBA young boys that might drop 2 or 3 albums in 1 year. Mm-hmm. They may not do as well as that one album every 3 years, but when you count it up, it's doing way more streams and they're more impactful. And they're more at the pulse of what's happening. I think that's kind of what it's like. And, it's not one way is not better than the other. This is how Elliot chose to work out his career, and I think he's older than I am. So it is what it is.
Yeah, he's still in here taking fights, and I like that. So salute to him.
Yeah, man.
Your page is like a virtual video encyclopedia, a video cyclopedia for so many things, whether it's, unfortunately the murders of Pac, even Big. Obviously, if we think about a lot of these drug stories, the Diddy thing going on now. You've had many interviews before where Diddy's been mentioned this and third, but we're seeing it take a new shape. You have this great series going on right now, which I think Roger Bonds came on. He's doing an amazing job, giving up a lot of information. And also you've set your sights on it to get relevant. And this is where you're number one at. And I know you fucking know, and I'm giving you your flowers, but there's nobody's going to get all the fucking details out of you than DJ Vlad.
I'm surgical.
You're surgical. Your interviews are so surgical. Yeah. No stone. I'm hearing motherfucking The Game tell stories he's never told before on your fucking platform. Right. And I'm like, how does nobody get this with Vlad? You know how to, because the person be like, okay, so you're shot 3 times. Wait, is it 2 in the arm? You're very detail oriented.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the details, you get new stories. See what I'm saying? It's
okay. Yeah.
If you just talk about what everyone else talked about and you don't dig into the story, there might be a whole new story that comes out in the process of getting these details. And there's the preparation that I feel like most people don't do that I do.
How much, well, I do want to talk about Diddy, but how much prep do you do?
Well, I have an assistant, who's currently Evan. So me and him had been working together for like 10 years or something like that. And he's very good at knowing where I'm going and how to research the topics. So I'll get the first draft of research from him, and then I'll spend like, depending on who it is, sometimes it's a day.
Little baby said you got that from the feds when he was like, when he's like, how you know that?
Right.
That was hilarious.
You know how I got it? From watching an interview you did with DJ Smalls. And he literally said what I asked. He just didn't remember it.
So wait, so you actually, in prepping for an artist, you're watching their old interviews.
Yeah,
really?
Interviews of that person.
Wow.
Nori does the same thing. Nori will hit me like, yo, I'm about to do Yellow Wolf. I'm watching Yellow Wolf interview right now. You know, it'll be like, yeah.
All respect to Dorian Nori's amazing. You're fucking surgical.
Yeah. And one of my tricks, you know, if we want to talk about tricks of the trade, is I'll watch interviews in double, sometimes triple speed.
Really?
Yeah. Like in YouTube or in QuickTime Player on my Mac, you could actually increase the speed. And there's even a tool that I found where you could actually go past 2 times. You could go 2.5, 3.
But you can't even like.
No, I can comprehend it.
Really?
Yeah, I can.
So you're just trying to retain information.
I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible.
Wow.
I'm trying to ingest this as fast as I can because I have a lot to go through. If I have like 3 interviews and each one is 2 hours, if I watch them, it'll take 6 hours. But if I triple the speed, I can do it in 2 hours. Right? I've now done 6 hours worth of work in 2 hours. And sometimes you'll even skip around a little bit because, okay.
Are you taking notes on these things when you're doing it? You are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, okay. When I was in interviews, I'm like, I'll put your stuff on. I'll put Adam's stuff on.
No, I have extensive notes.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you taking notes on your phone? Or are you like writing?
On a laptop, like
really?
Google Docs.
Okay.
Yeah, and those notes get saved. So then, if I do another interview in the future and I have to reference back, it's like I can pull up those notes and then start to, you know, like for example, like I did Doc Gooden. He was a legendary pitcher for the Mets. And his kind of partner in crime on the team was Darryl Strawberry. So I get to, you know, I went through all the Darryl Strawberry notes, then I kind of incorporated them into the Doc Gooden notes. So it's a process that builds on top of itself.